Good gaming, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nider. Today we're gonna watch some new play cEDH. Actually, no noobs at all. This was part of the win a case for the release of Duskmorn at the Scruffy Octopus. I'm doing a new freelance style. So Krark is kind of chaotic to edit. So what I will do is I'm doing the voiceover before editing the game. So what I'll do is I'll stay silent whenever there's nothing to say, and I'll talk when there is some stuff to say. And after that, I'll go over the bits that has something interesting to say, and I'll add the cards at that location. So we're gonna have some interesting stuff, and we're gonna have some boring, I don't say squat, but it's gonna be cut after on the cutting board. So we've got Tayam, Karakashima, TNT, TymnaThrasios, and we've got a Yuriko. Tayam tries to drop creature into his graveyard to bring it back, and then flicker Orcish forever, while sack it, puts it in grave, bring it back from the grave. Karakashima tries to copy spell. He tries to actually do one womp womp and one yippee. So he needs to win a roll and lose a roll, so he gets the card back in hand, but he gets the effect of casting it. After that, we've got TNT. TNT, I believe, is going to be a like blue farm, grab value instead of having access to green instead of red. So he will have more ramp, but not Dockside. Doesn't matter because Dockside isn't legal anymore. Tayam drops a birds. Karakashima will be casting Krark by exiling his Simian Spirit Guide. And Yuriko, we all know Yuriko. You want to attack with a unblocked ninja. Fort Bridge sniping the bird. Kind of a different way to bolt the bird. Not bolting, but it's still ending in a dead bird. Although Tayam player unfazed taps and gets another dork out. Taps for a Ikichin money changer. So this is a he will lose 3 life, put 3 money counter on the money changer. With every upkeep, he can add a money. I think it's a money counter. Tavern Scoundrel. So whenever you win a flip, create a treasure token. So you absolutely understand. It is Krark flips coin, so he wants to win as much as lose. So whenever he wins and make a treasure, he gets an extra mana. Enlightened Tutor to go get a Soul Ring is a good play. So he's asking, can I not shuffle? He will have to shuffle because he will. Oh no, not. So it doesn't. I don't remember. He will go get draw his Soul Ring, play it, and pass. Brand new sleeve has some slidiness issue. We all know that. Yuriko player goes out and will try to attack. On no block, he will flash in Yuriko. Yuriko will reveal a Mutt Dust Changeling. It's a Changeling, of course, like any other Changeling. Small, evasive shapeshifter because he can tap a creature to give it flying. Tayam will play Tomb, tap for 4. Well, he taps for 5. We'll play Tayam, get a colorless floating because he has Landland and the Helves. With the colorless, is gonna cast Soaring. Passes to Karakashima. Oh my god, what do I have tonight? Drops Minamo. We'll cast Varan. Oh god. So, if casting creates something, and it's absolutely creating something, every time you cast something, you trigger Krark, which means that he's gonna trigger Krark twice. He's gonna be able to flip twice with Varan on the board. So TNT goes and Vamp Tutor. This gets resolved. Krark triggers twice. So he made some special dice, and whenever he rolls, it's gonna be go Womp Womp if he flips it back into his hand, or Yippee, and nope, misses both triggers. Recast Submerge, reroll the dice. The dice. So Womp Womp goes back to hand. Yippee. He's gonna bounce Yuriko in hand. So you can choose, it's on top of library, but since it's commander, you can put it back onto the command zone. So he can do Submerge over and over again just to get a bunch of treasures. Brain Freeze. Presuming he has enough treasure to cast Brain Freeze. Well, so that's the issue of Krark. So I believe he has a Stormcrow to get the Storm count. We're up to 5, if I remember correctly. So the 4 copies from Brain Freeze will target TNT, exiling Basalt, Bird, Remora, and a Ristic Study that he tutored. He will Yippee. He'll make a copy, target Yuriko. Yuriko will have to discard a bunch of land, and of course a Womp Womp to return the Brain Freeze into his hand. So then TNT draws for turn, drops a something stadium, I believe, Overgrown Stadium, is that it? I think it's the Battle-Bound land. Sends the turn to Yuriko. Yuriko will drop a... I know the creature is a Bogart Trawler. I don't remember what the land is. We'll drop the Fort Bridge Prowler, targeting the Krark. Right after, drops a Bowmaster, trying to finish off the Krark. But then again, we know that Krark has a free spell. So Submerge is somebody needs to have an island and he needs to have a mountain. Yes, I'm right. Submerge, targeting Tayam. So everything is done on the stack. So Submerge. Yippee. I don't know why he's targeting Tayam, because he could wait to see if he gets it or not. Womp Womp goes back to hand. He will get recast. So that's a joy of a Karakashima deck. He will get to bounce back a bunch of stuff. Womp Womp goes back to hand. And sometimes it's the interaction you do around that Womp Womp EP. Misses boat roll, will try to redo it again. Misses and misses. Will restart. So Stormcrow, he got a Yippee. The copy of Submerge will bounce back. Sends the elves above the Tayam. Will bounce the Prowler. Prowler goes back on top. So he is finally able to save his Krark, sending back to the top of his library. Now he has to roll for the second one, and he actually is winning that roll, so he needs to target something. So at this point, it's deciding what is he bouncing to the top of his library. And you need to remember, Krark is on the top. So he chooses to send Veyran on top of the Krark. So Bowmaster ETBs can actually target the Scoundrel. Yep. So he's up to 14 treasures. So let's hope he's able to draw 2 cards, draw his commander back. Because drawing Veyran is something. But he needs Krark. Tayam player will untap. Stormcout goes back to 0. Command Tower into Sylvan Safekeeper. Kind of late, sadly. But then again, he could submerge forever. Elves of Deep Shadows. Akatian Money Changer. Where did he get... Because they were all on top of his deck. With Submerge. Krark goes to his turn. Plays a Mystic on answer. TNT will Worldly Tutor. Puts Lurrus on top of his deck. Well, Lurrus will be able to allow him bring back anything from his library. And he has a Kinnan and a Basalt. And Ristic, because I believe it's 3 or less. Lurrus. Value 2 or less. So that is the horn from the back of Bergie. If I remember correctly, it's discard, draw. That's going to be a way to go get Krark back. Krark, discard, activate the horn. Discard Brain Freeze to exile top 2. Surprisingly, hey! Krark. Never thought I'd see that one on top. Will cast Krark. 1 Land Treasure. Question is, what does he have in hand? He could sink into Stupor and start the loop that way. Cast Sakashima. Snap on Krark. So on the cast of Sakashima, if he snaps Krark into his hand, he's not going to be able to copy the Sakashima. So he allowed him to draw with Mystic Remora. There is no trigger on Krark because it's a creature. Snap goes back to hand. Sakashima ATBs. Sakashima copying the Tavern's counter, but like that counter was not useful at all. Try to cast Krark again. He'll have to try and cast Varen right after, because he needs well, if he doesn't have Karakashima, he needs Varen on board. Cast Sink into Stupor. 1 Krark. That is ballsy. Targets Bowmaster. The good thing is that it's gonna go back into his hand if he misses. Oh god, he still has Submerge in hand. Yippee! Makes 2 treasure. C'est quoi qui fait ce bruit-là? Sending back the elf. Orcish goes back to hand. So Tayam saying, just to remind everybody, he has Veyran and a Submerge in hand. TNT drops Luris. Ooh, casting the fish. Fish on fish. Going to get Tundra. Blue-white. With his fetch and passes to the Yuriko player. 4th District Brawler. -1/-1 on the Karakashima. Right after cast Orcish. No answer to cast. So on target. Crack Treasure, tap 1. He sack a permanent and he does something. Oh yeah, he flips a coin. So it's a sack outlet. Yippee! He makes 2 treasures. So instead of having him to die to the Orcish, so the ruling was, there was a question about ruling on the amass. So he needs to, the resolution has to do the point of damage before he amass, because it's deals 1 damage. Now the target is illegal, and since the target is illegal, that part doesn't revolve. And if it doesn't revolve, you don't then amass, because the first part did not resolve. So Tayam will try to recast Tayam. Tries to activate Tayam, because at this point, why the hell not? Oppo, Rishkar, and that's a new card. So yeah, Luris. Yeah, Luris is only permanent, so we can bring back Luris, Birds of Paradise Arcanon. At this point, Rishkar seems to be the best decision, because the other one is going to be Summoning Sick, so we cannot do anything with that anyway, so it's kind of useless to bring it back. So on Rishkar ETBs, he needs to put some +1/+1, but he's not going to have any mana to do anything with that. Seal of Primordium. So Mystic, Bowmaster. So he's gonna ping for 1. Then Mystic, the other Mystic, the Kark Mystic triggers. He will be able to go and grab something. There's second damage goes to the Tavern Scoundrel. It's still at 1 toughness. So he can crack the seal to destroy the horn, and you want to destroy the horn so that he doesn't discard a bunch of cards and then get more and more cards in exile. Horn is destroyed. Right after, passes the turn. So Krark for 6. He pays for fish. He could... Oh, he needs 6 and he has 2 treasures if I remember correctly. So they're talking about Submerge being a good card. The other good card would be a Mug Salvage. Mug Salvage could allow him to destroy pretty much any artifact on the board. Will cast Krark. Will cast Varan. At this point, they are kind of done. The Twin Flame. No, it's each shimmer. So each shimmer goes on the stack. Mystic Remora triggers. Each shimmer allows him to make a copy of a creature that belongs to an opponent. So each shimmer, he tries to make a copy of Orcish. Yippee! So right off the bat, he'll make a copy of Sakashima. He'll make a copy of Sakashima as a Krark. Look at that. I just love that art, man. So he makes a copy of Sakashima. Sakashima becomes a copy of Krark. He was able to win that flip. Now he's gonna roll for the do I copy again? Womp womp. So the each shimmer goes back to hand. Each shimmer costs 3 and he only has 2 treasure. Really? So casting flips a coin, makes him 4 treasure because of Varan? Recast each shimmer. He has now 4 trigger. So at this point, I'm like, okay. I know that the game goes on for 30 more minutes. I'm not going to go through the 30 more minutes. So what needs to happen is that there is 1 in 16 chance that he's going to miss that. So he needs to win a flip so that he makes a copy of something. Well, he needs to win one and he needs to lose one. If he lose one, he sends back the each shimmer into his end. If he lose one, he's gonna send it back to his. So what was I saying? If he lose one, each shimmer goes back to end and he can recast it. If he wins one, he's gonna be able to make a copy of Orcish or a Krark. Don't know what happened there. Oh, because TNT drew. So the copy will copy Bowmaster. Bowmaster will ping. That's that was a Orcish Bowmaster copy. So Krark. So he still has another Krark in the field. So we still need to flip 3 times. Second trigger will draw. Womp womp. Goes back to hand. He won, so he should have 2 treasure more. Let's see if he'll able to womp womp. Not gonna get that one. Well, he got what he wanted. Yippee! So he's gonna be able to make a copy of the Karakashima that is a Krark. And from there it just goes infinite. This is how they actually winning. He's gonna be able to make a copy of a Sakashima. Sakashima will copy Krark, and then he'll have 6 triggers. No, well, next one he'll have still 4, because he's only gonna have 2 Krark. But after that, it just goes. You can go infinite with that. At this point, TNT is saying I'll scoop. Tayam is saying I'll scoop. And Yuriko is saying I'm going to stay in the game and I want to see how this plays on. However, if you learned anything in this game, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next game. Congratulations, Karakashima. That was wonderful.